What's up, everybody? It's your boy Hurt coming to you with another episode of Afterlife. We talk about anything and everything that we feel like talking about today. And today's no different. We're going to reach in that bag of goodies, subjects, and material. We're going to pull out one and we're going to discuss it today. Dive right in and do all that good jazz. So let's get to it. Today, we are going to talk about the annoying neighbor and or neighbors, because I had more than one. But before we talk about that, let me talk about one of the best neighbors I've ever had first. His name's Noah. I forget his last name, but I'll never forget Noah, because I used to always mess with him and be like Noah's Ark or whatever. And one of the best, if not the best neighbor I've ever had. We would chop it up. We would talk shit to each other. We would legit just talk about life, talk about our babies, talk about our women out there, talk about what we're gonna do when we get out. And he had a TV at the time. I didn't have a TV at the time, so he would always let me know what's going on in the world, tell me if the Lions won or whatever, because for the first part of the season I didn't have a TV, so I didn't know if the Lions won or whatever. By the way, I'm a huge Lions fan. So he would always tell me, and I'd always be like, fuck you, Noah. And he'd be like, fuck you, Hurt, whatever, because I'm known as Hurt in there. And sure enough, I had him for a good 5-6 months, and then out of nowhere he got shipped out or whatever, which happens sometimes. People who still got a year or still got some time left, whatever, they'll ship them out somewhere else, sometimes closer to home, sometimes just ship them out. It's just how it works or whatever. And the neighbor after him, I will never forget. For as long as I live, I will never forget. Call him Buffalo Bob. I'll explain why. First day when he came in, he already looked shaky, crazy, just skinny, just nuts looking. Don't judge a book by its cover, but just so happens that this one was just... He would talk to himself. He would be like, how you doing today, man? Oh, I'm doing good. How you doing? No, you're not good. Don't tell me you're good. I am good. Don't tell me I'm not good. Why are you doing this to yourself? I don't know why I'm doing... Crazy talking to himself. Then he started going out in the yard and collecting rocks. Now, one thing in the world, if you collect minerals or if you collect different shades of rocks or whatever, like, I understand that. Little weird, but I understand that. You got a hobby, you're doing whatever, you collect cards or whatever. I understand that. But when you're in the joint and you're going out to the yard and you're going on the ground looking like you're looking for a piece of rock, crack rock, or a piece of meth or something like that, like, I don't know if any of my audience out there know what that is, but like, people will legit look on the ground for specks of crack or specks of... My old life, can't deny it. I know what that's like. So anyways, I don't know. It's like, I've never done stuff like that, but I've seen people that were into that type of stuff. I had to elaborate because, no, I ain't like that. I ain't about that noise. But I've had people who's been into that, and I've seen them go on the ground looking for that shit. So this dude would do that with rocks, and he would come back into his house, to his cell, with handfuls of rocks. And he started throwing them at people. He started tossing them at COs. Started putting them on the back bars, because we had front bars and we had back bars. He started putting them on the back of the bars. And then he started sleeping with them. Now, how I know why he started sleeping with them was because when he started having a talking to himself moment or whatever, he talked himself to sleep. And I walked over there to be like, quiet down, what's going on, because he was quiet. And this dude had rocks by his chest, rocks by his legs, and rocks on his damn bars, and he's passed out with rocks all over the place. So then when he wakes up, this is another awesome thing he did. He would sing Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire, the down, 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 it's the burning ring of... That song. And he would sing it at all different times of the night, like all night long, just the same chorus, the same song, and then he'd go back to talking to himself, like, I don't know why everyone doesn't like me. You know why they don't like. And another thing he did would he would just cut into himself by rah, 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 like nuts, like how like Slipknot and all that is, like rah, 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 how he was to himself. So one day came where the COs must have heard something or whatever. Well, first let me get to, there was a CO in my block that we called her Big Booty Judy, because she was this nice black woman, but she had a badonkadonk, like big old booty. But she was cool. We called her Big Booty Judy. She was always, as long as you didn't fuck with her and you didn't mess with anything, she was cool to you. She treated you with respect. Sometimes she'd let you go to another dude's room on the other side of the rock, which is, you ain't supposed to do that. You ain't even supposed to go to any side that's not your side. You gotta stay by your cell. You ain't supposed to go past your cell nowhere. Just to use your bathroom. Go downstairs to use the shower, the microwave, the hot. Anyways, she came to go ask this dude what the problem was. And he would be like, you N-word this, you N-word that. Get out of my, you big old fat N-word this. And I'm like, what? So needless to say, she moved him to a 72-hour observation cell, which they strip you down butt naked, and they put you in a Bam Bam suit. It's a blanket slash onesie slash, you can't tear it, it's tear resistant, it's so you don't hang yourself, all that stuff. So they put this crazy Buffalo Bill dude in the damn observation cell because he's just wigging out on people, just snapping, throwing rocks. Finally snaps on the CO, and praise Jesus, they move this dude to another part of the compound, out of the block or whatever. So that guy's gone. So then they move in neighbor number 2 about the second week or third week or whatever. And dude is just the same thing. He just, not the same, but like he would bump his music loud as can be. He would bump his TV loud as can be. He'd be yelling out the cell to people way on the other side of the block. He would just be nasty, just leaving trash all over the place, just kicking trash over to my side. Like he would be sweeping and then he would just leave it on the walkway. And then it would brush over to my side, whatever. Just straight nasty, just left his cell nasty, trash on the floor, just freaking food all over the place. That stuff gets ants. That stuff gets nasty. Birds were in our block. So birds would literally come into his cell. He'd be screaming like, oh, there's birds and shit. Like, yeah, motherfucker, clean your shit. And maybe there wouldn't be birds coming in your shit. But, nastiest dude I've ever did time with, just nasty as hell. Called him JJ or whatever. I don't know what his real name was, but they called him JJ. And dude had some nasty hygiene problems. Smelled like a nasty pig. Just was nasty as can be. It was like, it was time for him to go. So luckily, my neighbor's neighbor, his neighbor, said something to the COs and was like, you gotta get this nasty fool out of here. Like, he's nasty, he stinks, he don't take showers, he's yelling out to other side of the block. Like, he just has no remorse, doesn't care about nothing. Get him out of here. So my prayers were answered because, like, I don't talk to COs. I'm sorry. Like, only time I ever said something to COs when they'd be like, how you doing, Hurt? Yep, I'm good. Keep it pushing or whatever. But luckily they moved this guy somewhere, someplace that wasn't near me. I was like, dude, I'm done. It's about time that another good bunkie comes in or another good celly comes in. And thank you, Jesus, somebody came in that barely spoke English. He spoke broken English, spoke more Spanish than anything, but he did his time like a champ. he would come and ask for noodles. I'd hook him up with a noodle, and he'd always pay me back that 2-for-1. He'd always give me sometimes 3 noodles because he was just so hungry. I'd give him, my second to last noodle, or sometimes I gave him my last noodle. And I'd give him some coffee. He'd always pay me back 2 shots for that one, sometimes 3 shots, just because he was cool like that. And I would help him with some English shit sometimes because he couldn't read or really understand English papers. So he'd be like, "What is this?" I'd help him out, whatever. But he was a cool neighbor. Not as cool as Noah, but he was a cool neighbor. So it was a long time coming because them 2 other, oh my God, dude. And one thing about prison is you're never not going to get tested. You're always going to get tested. You're going to get tested with crazy fucking dudes that talk to themselves, nasty, non-hygienic people that are just gross, disgusting. And if they're like that in the joint, just imagine how they are in the world, like for real, for real. But other than that, everybody, that is the Annoying Neighbors episode. Hopefully you guys like it. Subscribe, comment below what you think. Did you guys have a nasty neighbor? Even on the outs, did you have a nasty neighbor? Do you have nasty friends or anything like that? Comment below. Subscribe. Hopefully you guys liked the video or whatever. I enjoyed it. I just didn't enjoy it at the time, hanging out with or being neighbors with these annoying motherfuckers. So, all right, everybody. This is Hurt coming to you with another one. Have a good day, everybody.